We are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. And to all the first time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel. And to all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video, to stay tuned on in towards the second half of this video. I have a ticker symbol to share with you guys that you won't want to miss, and we're also going to discuss the ticker symbols we mentioned this morning over at the Discord. And if that's something that interests you and you want to become part of, you're more than welcome to join us. The Discord link is down below in the description, and we look forward to having you join us. On regular days, we're looking for 5 to 10%. On great days, we're looking for 10 to 20%, and 20% plus is our home runs that we try to nail at least once a week, or at least once or twice every 2 weeks, all the way up towards the whole month, at least finding 4, right? If we don't find 4, at least 3 of them. Last week, we hit 2 of them right off the bat to start off the week, and we got really close to hitting a third one several times, but we kept hitting those 15 to 20% opportunities throughout the week. So you're more than welcome to join us, and we look forward to having you join us. So CTRM, I want to talk about this, and I want to go back in time, okay? When we saw CTRM fall below, obviously $1, and then it started to come back up and started to fall again in March, I talked several times throughout the whole entire process of this stock falling and all its volatility, and finally hitting below $1, I started to see weakness, and this stock needed to stay above $1. And then I also talked about the possibility that if it stays below $1 for X amount of time, I brought up the information, the articles, they were stating that towards the beginning of June, there would be a reverse stock split. Well, they actually did it a little bit earlier, okay? And this is something that they talked about since November 25th, 2020. This is no new news. It's new news to those that did not do the research or were not aware of it or are actually investing without doing their due diligence, okay? This was determined, and you could see here, the company shareholders approved the reverse stock split by a ratio of not less than 1 to 2 and not more than 1 to 75, and granted the board the authority to determine the exact split ratio when to proceed with the reverse stock split at the company's annual meeting of shareholders held on November 25th. So from that point forward, there was an expectation that 6 months ahead of that time, which would be December, or if you want to say January, between that time, 6 months ahead of that would end up in a time frame of May or June. Now, a lot of articles were, projecting this to possibly happen, if it was going to happen, the beginning or middle of June. Turns out this is happening a lot faster than we expected, and it's going to happen at this point here. The reverse stock split will take effect, and the company's common shares will begin trading at a split adjusted basis on the NASDAQ capital market as of the opening trading of the 28th, guys. So it was expected to come sometime near the beginning of June. Turns out it's going to happen on Friday before June even comes, before even the point of the long weekend that is coming. So why is CTRM down? Well, they announced the reverse stock split to be happening, and it's going to be a 1 to 15, I believe, from what I've seen and what I've heard, right, and all the different articles I've read. So a lot of investors were probably expecting this type of drop today because of the fact that this was published on the 21st, okay? Today's the 24th. So everyone had over the weekend to know this. Now, if they don't know this, it's because, again, investors are not doing their due diligence, and they're just jumping into stocks without being aware. That's why you want to do your due diligence, you want to do your research, and you want to understand charts. Charts tell you really quickly what's going on. In the aftermarket, this was already showing the downward pressure, and it was just going to get worse. Now it's kind of consolidated. So what does this mean for CTRM moving forward? Well, there could be some volatility to the upside or downside towards the reverse split or after it. It's very hard to tell what's going to happen between or after because of the fact that it all has to do with investor sentiment and how investors are feeling about this actually splitting. Because sometimes after the split, it just starts to fall, and then it does a recovery. I mean, it's very, very hard. All reverse splits work out very differently. So here we are with the 50-day moving average, and it's 40.07. So anything below that is bearish. Anything above that is bullish. Now, this stock's support level based off today's movement is 36 cents. Anything below it is more bearish than it already is. And if it continues to break through newer lows, the lowest point reached in the after hours of Friday was 34 cents. I'd watch how this is reacting between those areas to see if the bulls are trying to reappear or if the bears are bringing this one down fairly fast. Now, the resistance level that the bulls need to break through to build some momentum to the upside is 38.32. That needs to be broken through, turn into a support so the bulls can reach newer highs, new resistance levels, but it does not guarantee or confirm the possibility of the bulls breaking through the 50-day moving average. This is just a stepping stone and an indicator for us investors of momentum where it's going. But for bulls to actually get back into bullish territory, they need to break through the 50-day moving average, not just this resistance level. This does not guarantee that. That is just one step closer to getting to the 50-day moving average. Now, this stock has been falling pretty hard throughout this whole process. It's hit newer lows, and it is going to be very interesting moving forward because stocks with reverse splits sometimes get very, very volatile towards the reverse splitting, sometimes after. It just all depends. So it is something to watch, but be very cautious. It's very risky, and a reverse split is not always the best situation for a stock that has fallen below $1 to maintain compliance. If you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe, click on the bell so you don't miss a single video that I post, and stay tuned on in. I have a ticker symbol to share with you guys you won't want to miss. It's already up 10% today alone, and 10 to 20% since we've mentioned it 2 weeks ago, and it's given us 10% swing trade opportunities several times. And we're going to discuss the ticker symbols we mentioned this morning over at the Discord. So the ticker symbol I have for us today is one that I talked about 2 weeks ago, way back on the week of the 10th to the 14th, and it actually gave us 10% opportunities throughout that time frame. And from that point till now, it has given us between 10 to 20%, and it's going to be an interesting one to look at moving forward. But before we talk about it, I want to share with you guys today's experience over at the Discord, and if that's something that interests you and you want to become part of, you're more than welcome to join us. The link is down below in the description. On a regular day, we're looking for 5 to 10%, 10 to 20% on great days, and 20% plus are home runs. So let's talk about it. So here on the screen, I have one of the ones I talked about early on in the morning, CREX, and we also talked about SBBP. So we're going to look at where they were sitting. One was sitting at 268, and CREX was sitting at 184. So we caught this one on its way down towards this low right here, and it jumped up to 191. So that gave us about a 3 to 5% opportunity. As it started to fall again, it hit another low here. It went from 174 to 186, another 5 to 10% opportunity. So the stock today was not as strong of volatility as we expected, except for early on in the morning. We weren't seeing enough volume early on in the morning, and shortly after, things were pulling back, and as they were pulling back, opportunities were presenting themselves pretty small, but they were there. And for those that were patient and watched this one throughout the day, it hit a low here of 166, and right now has hit a high of 187, certainly giving a 10% plus opportunity. But this one gave us 5 to 10% within its opportunities throughout the whole day. Now the other one was SBBP, and SBBP was actually on a downtrend when we started watching it early on in the morning, right after the bell. Hit a low here of 264, and right after shot up to 278, giving a 3 to 5% opportunity. And for those that were able to hold on just a few more minutes through the consolidation, it hit a high here of 286, and that right there was a 5 to 10% opportunity as well, a little bit closer to 10%, between 8 to 10%. So today the market was pretty green, but the opportunities, they didn't have a lot of volume, and a lot of things were moving sideways, and there was a lot of hype right now going back into tech growth, and specifically with some of the space sector company. So it was something interesting. Now, I want to do a recap on the put option I talked about last week, 12.5. We were watching it last week, and I actually don't like that here on Webull you can't see the high and the low of the day. But if you go to Robinhood and you go to the same exact strike right here, 12.5, expiring May 28th, we started watching this one last week, how it ended the week at 0.10, and it hit a high today of 0.16, giving a 60% opportunity from when I mentioned it, from when the market opened, and especially when the stock started to dip early on in the morning, guys. You could see it here for the day. When that pullback happened right here from 13.39 all the way down to 12.98, it had hit its high of the day of 0.16. So just wanted to do an update on this one. This is an interesting one to still watch throughout the week for maybe another opportunity to swing trade. Things are getting a little bit not on its favor or in its hands, right? Things are kind of attacking this one already. Like it did its volatility. Volume was pretty high today. Open interest is still pretty big. And I will continue to watch it. But right now, it's done its move so far from last week to this week. And again, I apologize. I can't see here the high and the low. But if you have the Robinhood account or if you're using any other platform, just search up the high and the low. And you will see that it went up to 0.16, guys. That was a 60% return from when we mentioned it. So let's talk about the ticker symbol you want to add to your watch list. And this is one you definitely want to do more research on. And this sector is explosive, guys. It took off today from $44 all the way up to $49. So I started talking about this stock way back here on this week of May 11th all the way to the 14th. And it gave us about a 10% opportunity from its lows of $39 all the way up to $45, consolidated, and now it's taking off again. So for those that are long and caught it on that dip, we were talking about it that week over at the Patreon to watch. That was a great opportunity. And then also on this slight dip right here at $41 to keep average cost down. And throughout the run, this is starting to move a nice 10 to 20% from where it was. But if anyone's been swing trading this one, this has given plenty of room to make 10 to 20% throughout this ups and downs and keeping cost average pretty low. Now, overall, this sector has growth opportunity and this stock has been plummeting due to the tech and growth sector being attacked, the SPACs. I mean, you can name it all. This stock fell into that category and now it's actually having a trend reversal. And now it's time to watch for consolidation or some weakness for another opportunity for those that didn't catch it at these levels, that is long or looking to swing trade once again. So keep a close eye on it. Do your research and due diligence. And as always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching and let's make some money.